Is an affair ever right? Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. You know, I talked a lot about affairs in the past. I haven't talked about it in the present time because I think affairs break trust and it's damaging and it's terrible and people make excuses for it and you know, they could have a perfectly great marriage. You know, marriages take work and a lot of times people don't want to give for it that work, or marriages can go through a rough spell, or people can just feel like they're out of love, you know, but you're not always going to have that high that you did when you first met somebody. Marriage is a beautiful thing. It's a relationship that's built on a foundation and then many layers and many wonderful experiences. And yet, is there ever a time that it's okay? Well, I believe, for me personally, I believe no, it's not. And yet, I can understand some situations. And I'm going to tell you one. Many years ago, when I was very young, I knew a man and woman who had had a relationship for many years. Their spouses knew of it, and they really weren't having any physical contact with their spouses other than living in the same home. But they had children, and then their children became adults, and they had their health insurances tied in with each other. They had their finances tied in with each other. And they had their memories with their family, and they didn't want to destroy their memories with their family and that unity, that family bond. And this was with both couples, both sets of couples. And so everybody knew that this married couple, these two people that were having the affair, were actually having the affair. They knew that they were a couple and people treated them as a couple. And they went around semi-publicly. They didn't like go way public where, you know, their adult kids could see or anything like that. But people were aware of that relationship. They were very happy, and actually their spouses were happy too, because they really didn't want a relationship, that kind of relationship with their spouse. And so, for some reason. And so, was that okay? You know, I don't think it's an ideal situation, but I understand it. I understand they wanted to hold their family unity together. They wanted to hold their finances together, their health insurances together, and their memories together. And they liked each other as people. They just were not, they did not love each other in the way. And I think that they both couples had married people that they didn't love from the very beginning. So was it okay? You know, I look at people and individual situations, and I think it's most certainly not ideal, and it's most certainly not the way I would hope that most people would go. But I can understand it. I can understand why some people would have an affair, even though I think that there's, you know, that's not really the best alternative in life at all. And I'm not condoning affairs because it's broken trust. And at most affairs, 99.999%, in my opinion, I'm making that number up, are very wrong to have, because the trust is broken and it does so much damage to the families and to the relationships and to everybody and the friendships and the relatives and just everything. It makes a mess of everything. So was it okay in this situation? What do you think? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But they had a relationship where everybody was happy, I guess. And it went on until they died. They got old and they died, but they all were happy, I guess. What do you think? From my house to yours, I hope to talk to you soon again. May God bless you. Bye-bye.